Hi, this is a very crucial time right now that we all need to make sure we go out and vote and not and don't say is this the presidential time? No, because no, this is mostly like local official people that you got to know what's going on within your community, what's going on with your state. These are the people that you're sending to Congress to represent also. And the people that's in your local town or area that you need to make sure that you can't just stand around or sit around and say, you know what, I don't care because they're going to get whoever they want to. But when people have been protesting recently about what's going on, it has to make a difference because we're looking at where a lot of people are going through changes through the state, which it's going to involve elders and also children, family households, and we can't just let them say that we're doing this because we're interested in trying to make people pay for, or we taking stuff away from people that is not that shouldn't have, and so that can't be acceptable when you have a president that is in the White House with 34 count of felon, also a sexual predator that have been involved in sex trafficking, been involved with, we had audios admitting that young girls that was in pageants, that he sexually assaulted them. And that's who we got representing us. And just had a communist leader that was here that they rolled out the red carpet for. He was applauding for. And it used to be a time that America just didn't even want to hear anything from anybody that was a communist. And he was welcome here, in which we had a immigrant that was here that was had possessions of America, the people information, and now he's gone into another country, a continent, and was awarded more money, in which he's almost like up to trillions of dollars, where he had lost money doing the thing with the car thing, Tesla. So we don't even know what he handed over to these countries and that are adversaries of the United States. And this we should be concerned about instead of worrying about designers, this and that. And you can see where it's an impact with everybody being reckless. Young people, younger generations, the Gen Z, the millennials, all of those back there behind us, you're going to have to take the initiative, because when those like us are gone or that have fought the fight and carry the stick from the ones that's before us, when the civil rights, it's definitely the civil rights era. It's the one that we stood on great shoulders when it came to them. And so right now we're facing a great crisis all over, where people are protesting all over the place, where even in D.C. where the crime rate had dropped. And now he bringing in forces to come in there. We see them racist individual that has the opportunity now to just beat down people and drag them. DeSantis, in which Anna off of The View was so into destroying Charlie Crist until they got DeSantis and Anna Navarro. Now you got DeSantis, who took $10 million from Medicaid recipients that supposedly went back to him and did what he wanted to do with it. Nobody brought charges on him, and they're spent $6 million in Florida now for the alligator Alcatraz, in which they're planning on doing it again, where they take pleasure in just snatching people up, going in Costco, going into Well, Home Depot, they supposed to have stopped that, which they're known conservatives that usually back all of these negative people. But dragging people off the job, these not people that we're saying are rapists, because the rapist is up there in the White House. The criminals up there in the White House. Most of everybody he got up there uh, um, is in the White House. And so you got to take an initiative. We can't just say, oh, wow, okay, they saying they're taking this from us because they're trying to look out for the money that is spent on people that don't deserve it. But he spent $20 million. This need to be said every day, because if that was President Obama doing this, pimping the White House out, it's not even elegant anymore with all that gold crown mess he got in there, that's spending the taxpayer money on this nonsense. $20 million he spent for the Super Bowl. Millions of dollars to the NASCAR right after that. This after he first got in there. And then $54 million for a birthday parade. Over $30 million in golfing, in which he go back and forth riding in the Air Force One, like he riding in the Uber that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars one way to travel in that, and all the security that he done beefed up and got around him. And Vance went to one part where they had them to put water in the lake for him and his family to be able to canoe. That was millions of dollars. That city lost money. He have been to Scotland vacationing, $11,000 a day. This is taxpayer money. So, and Elon Musk gave him millions of dollars before he left, and whatever. And with Trump not being that stupid, there's no telling how much he took out of there. That is also that we lost. And even now, this is really serious, that everybody need to be a part of and try to get out here and understand what's going within your community, within your state. 12 states have already decided to dictate whatever anybody's supposed to eat if you're on stamps or whatever. But I'm saying they can't be too concerned and condemning. That right there is hypocritical, when nobody's saying that this man is spending millions of dollars on unnecessary stuff. We got racists that part of ICE that's giving them the opportunity to kick and beat and tell people to shut the fuck up when they're asking for their badge number and what they're doing to them. It's like there's no democracy here. This don't even look like the United States no more. So you can't just sit around and not care about what is happening. Because after those of us, the baby boomers, and those that went before us, when we're gone, then it's on Generation X, Millennia, and Generation Z. And so you gotta function more than just on superficial situation, because you gotta care about what's gonna happen to you, to your kids, where y'all gonna be, because they're doing this very quickly, within 6 months. Look at all the destructions already. We don't have allies anymore. The United States can greatly become Ukraine, because nobody knows what all he in hand out to a communist, insane person like Putin. And that could easily be us over here in the United States, because nobody up there has any knowledge of what their position is. And so they all are aware that we just on autopilot here. And you can't even watch a football game, want to relax, because there are politics there also. We're looking at this happening because Deion Sanders was a successful black man that believed in generation wealth and making sure his boys was good. And now the politics is what they're doing to Shador. And I don't understand why Deion don't understand, because people upset that Tom Brady not taking a part of. Tom Brady, you got to remember, he a white man. So no matter what, that's what he is first. And so therefore, it could be also, it's cool if him and Deion is good. But you never know what's going on deeply inside, that Deion is successful with his boys or his kids. But it's okay when the Mannings was involved with theirs, but when a black man is, they're trying to punish him. And so we need to still pay attention, because Tom Brady probably wouldn't have been the GOAT if Mike Vick wouldn't have went off to prison. But at that time, when Doug Williams was the first black quarterback that won the Super Bowl, you don't see them giving him a position like to be a commentator or anything like that. They're limited with that. Look, what Shedeur need to do, he need to also speak to somebody like Doug Williams that have gone through this politics, Randall Cunningham, Mike Vick, Kaepernick. So it's not going to stop just in the sports world. If we don't get involved, if you don't try to get out here and vote and get involved, it's no telling where we're going to end up. Because like I said, within the 6 months, the destruction that have happened, D.C., he's sending National Guards where the crime rate have dropped. I didn't visit D.C. Many times. It's not where it's life-threatening, where you got to call back up there. That situation, and so therefore the crime rate had dropped. But this is what he want to do, and he's naming the city where it's predominantly black people, like Chicago, D.C., known as Chocolate City, Baltimore, which Maryland has a great new governor there that's taking the initiative to get stuff right there. But this is what he's doing when we got crime all within the United States. But those are the places that he's focusing on. And so something has to be done, and have to be quickly. We have to be involved, people. We got to be involved. And the civil rights era, that was great for us. People like me, when being an activist, as a former president of the local NAACP, working with when they did this before, when Trump did this before, and farmers couldn't have anybody to go out there and work for him because he had young kids in cages, separating them from their parents. So this is not nothing new. And so as we fought with that, we're back in that position again, and it's worse of what's happening what's happening within. And we can sit here and say, well, I know some people say that it's gonna be the blacks next, but the black, it never stopped being happening to them, suppressing votes, systemic racism, and it's so open now. But if the civil rights era, the people then, if they fought to get constitutional rights, when the time of the 1776, when they did the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence, we wouldn't even consider human beings at that time. So that wasn't for us, but still, it got back. They worked, and they got people in position where you got black billionaires here now. You got black people that's black governors, in different places where blacks weren't even playing baseball, football, basketball, and now that's who the teams are. So, but we have to thank those that came before us in the civil rights era, but you can't let go of the hand. You can't let go of the ancestors' hand and think that we okay now because they're showing you right now you're not. So I'm asking everybody, please, take the opportunity to find out what's going on in your community. Get out, and if you haven't voted, if you can't vote, please register to vote. And you won't be able to vote for this, probably this election right here, if you're not already registered. Make sure the young people, as soon as they turn 18, that's in your household, make sure that they vote. And this is very serious because, like I said, you see it's going down real quickly in 6 months. And that and that what Trump numbers focusing on, they had a plan, they had an agenda, and they pushing for it real quickly. And so I'm begging you, because every day I sit up and say a prayer, not just for my kids, because I know my mom them did that. They pray for us, their children, their children's children, and their children to come. Not only that I pray for them, I pray for the children who's not covered. And ask God, this has to change. It has to change. We came too far to end up turning back. So please, I'm asking you, you know, you might not agree with a family member on who you're voting for, but still, that privilege people died for, black people died for, you have to be able to just get a piece of paper, check it off, get online, but you have the opportunity to vote. They didn't. They worked hard for us to get where we are, and your voice count. It really does. If not for if you're not gonna worry about those that came before you or for yourself, think about your kids, the position that you're putting them in. If you're not involved, so please, let's vote. Let's concentrate on what's going within our community, and not just accept that nobody's gonna listen, nobody care. They're gonna do what they want to do. That's we know that it can make a difference. In numbers, we can make a difference. They did it. Even those that was lynched, that was hosed down, that dogs on them, house burned down, different loved ones that stood up and lost their life. Please, let's not lose any more life. And in our community, please stop the violence. Please. So many young people, they're either going to prison or they done took lives. For what? We're fighting a war already, a racial war. We shouldn't have to fight among each other also. So please stop the gun violence, please. God bless.